Part of the promotion for this conference was called Untangling Iniquity. So we've perhaps identified the mess. What are you going to do about it? What should you do about it? Well, just not so fast. You're ready, I know, to do that. And that's so wonderful. That was about 7 of you. The rest are still thinking about it. Thank you for your zeal. First, I want to, right here while we're gathering, to thank you for being a wonderful, wonderful audience. Give yourself a hug. I can't do anything more for you than you're allowing God to deal with you. Do you know that? And sometimes in teaching to an audience that doesn't want to change, it's like driving a steel spike into a steel bulkhead. It's just both get ringing of the ears. And so you've been a very attentive audience. I think you've been tracking with me. The fact that you came back indicates you've been feeding. And I'm thrilled, and I want to say thank you for allowing me to serve you and our team to serve you. Because I know God has a vested interest in you. And you were drawn here by the Spirit of God, I promise you. The subject iniquity is not the most popular subject for teachers in the world. And for you to come out around that subject indicates you have come hungry. Indicates to me you're ready for change. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come. You wouldn't have stayed. And so the fact that the most of you have stayed indicates to me something has been bearing witness to you. You're tracking, aren't you? You're starting to see things that you could not see this way before. And that's really wonderful. In Nehemiah, in chapter 8, the people had just come back out of captivity. And they found the book of Moses. And in Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 2, and Ezra the high priest brought the law, and that would be the word in this case to us, before the congregation, both of men and women. And all that could hear with understanding upon the first day of the 7th month. And he, that would be Ezra, he read therein before the street that was before the water gate from the morning until midday. Before the men and women and those that could understand. And the ears of all the people were attentive unto the book of the law. You guys' ears have been attentive. Your response means you've been feeding. And I'm thrilled. So Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood, which they had made for this purpose. And beside him stood a bunch of people whose names I can't pronounce. You try it. And Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people. He didn't have an electronic cheat sheet. Come on now. And he was above the people, and he opened it, and all the people stood up. Please don't stand up. Because they stood up for 6 hours and 6 hours. These people stood in this meeting for 12 straight hours. Didn't sit, stood. So, aren't you happy to have chairs? And Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God, and all the people answered, saying, Amen and Amen, with lifting up their hands. And they bowed their heads and worshiped the Lord with their faces to the ground. We're not going to ask you to do that either. And all these people whose names I can't pronounce caused the people to understand the law or the word. And the people stood in their place. So they read in the book of the law of God distinctly. They weren't a bunch of screaming preachers. Being able to give people the understanding, very deliberate, Most of us are a little slow. So we want to be able to teach in a way that you can have time to record it in your hearts. Has it been that way today, I hope? Now, I've certainly plowed through some stuff for you. And they gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading. Have I not done that today? I've explained to you things you need to know. And Nehemiah and the Levites that taught the people said, "This day is holy unto the Lord your God. Do not mourn, do not weep," for all the people were crying when they heard the word of the Lord. Man, they got it. They just began to cry, began to weep. And the leadership said, "Stop it." You think, wait a minute, we need to moan in the Spirit. Well, that's not what this says, does it? That's what it says. Isn't that amazing? And he said unto them, "Go your way, eat the fat." Hoo, little barbecue there. "Drink the sweet." Ooh, I like this guy. "And send portions unto them for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto the Lord. Neither be ye sorry, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." So because we hear the giving of the word today, and we're identifying some things that the villain has done in his trafficking in our lives and our families, does not mean that we need to lose our joy. We don't need to mourn and cry and say, "Oh my God." No, he'd say, quit. It's time to be happy. It's time to rejoice. Why? Because the joy of the Lord is our strength. Wow, isn't that amazing? And Levites stilled the people, saying, "Hold your peace, for the day is holy, neither be grieved." And all the people went their way to eat and drink and to send portions and to have great mirth and happiness, because they understood. Why? The words of God that were declared unto them. So at the end of the day, when we're finished, go party. Be happy. Go your way and rejoice, and give unto others who have not the goodness of God. Share with them, because they're struggling with the rut also. You know what I'm saying? I love Pastor Donna's explanation of the iniquity as being stuck in a rut. And so I just love this when they said that. Now, in this untangling iniquity, there's some teachings we have that have been around a while, but part of it is important to today. It's called 8 R's to Freedom. Maybe some of you have studied that. Some people use it as an application or a roadmap for their life. But in this particular case, you cannot untangle the iniquity of your lives unless you understand the journey of doing so. The first of the 8 R's to freedom is you must recognize in your life what is not of God. And I'm not talking about the big things. I'm talking about the little foxes too. The little personality misfirings, the little irritations, the little things that cause the distance between your brain and your tongue to become zero. Those little things that you call irritation. Those are things that bubble up that irritate others because you have impatience, you have a critical spirit. People have to form into your image, into your iniquity for you to be happy, drag you down to their level of ruts in order for you to have friendship. They want to have self-pity parties with you, want to have criticism parties with you, want to bring you into this cesspool that the villain has taught us so skillfully to be different than God, our Father.